Jones.
Rhodes.
Esther.
And we are
The Shield.
And we're here to talk about the April 14th edition of Monday Night Raw. Well, Big Show, Sheamus, and Orton.
Where are we going?
I don't even have anything else to say about that. And then 3MB. We're a three-man band. They call out the Shield, but get the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar. What is a Beast Incarnate? Do you know?
Beast. You're the words wizard.
Beast Incarnate, I think is like, sleeping demon of energy and boogers.
Okay, yeah, the only part he's
All
got
right,
is the
Beast
boogers.
Incarnate is just, like laying dormant.
But then Brock Lesnar comes out and physically dominates apparently the most dominant.
Now, did you see that coming?
I did not.
Laying dormant. The Beast comes out.
Heath Slater received 2 F5s on the barricades.
So, But the moment of that segment was afterwards when Brock Lesnar issued a challenge to Triple H at Extreme Rules in a steel cage match. You have to wonder to yourself, what's going on with that? Like, they've already had 2 matches. Will the third be the better? Will the third be the better one? And then from that segment, I think I'll turn it over now to Blake Esther for the United States Championship match between Antonio Cesaro and Kofi Kingston.
When we introduced last week, well, actually, we never got around to doing it, actually, now that I think about it. But the Shield's big thing is hashtag push Kofi. Ladies and gentlemen, the push has begun. At least we hope. He defeated Cesaro Friday night on SmackDown. On Monday night, he gets the United States Championship belt. He has a great match with Cesaro. They do a number of counters to set up the Trouble in Paradise to get the pinfall. And the last thing Kofi says before we go to commercial break is, I've brought the United States title back home. Hopefully that means he can actually start cutting promos more now and find out what kind of voice he really does have on him. We've seen a voice on him back in 2009. Ready to see Kofi as one of the main people and see if he can finally bring a good name to a mid-card title. Hats off to Kofi Kingston. Congratulations on your 3rd U.S. Championship.
Then we go to the Ziggler and Del Rio and Jack Swagger segment. I like the way Ziggler and his group are now forming. I like his little clique. I think they're doing an excellent job. I'm anxious to see where they're going with that whole segment. 1 minute, I just don't know. Del Rio's like
they're kind of bouncing around right now, in the sense that he's out there, but then the focal point becomes the attacks on Del Rio.
But then after that segment, you're going to jump ship here to the Ziggler and Jack Swagger match, which is probably one of the better matches of the night. But what I didn't understand is, first Del Rio gets attacked, then he comes back out and attacks Swagger, and now there's a triple threat match. Will that take place at Extreme Rules, or will it take place this Friday night on SmackDown?
They didn't say. I'd have to assume Extreme Rules. The other thing is that, it's kind of always been Ziggler's career, no matter what it is, he can never be the focal point. He's the World Heavyweight Champion, and the focal point seems to go to Jack Swagger and Albert.
And then we go to Team Hell No versus the Primetime Players for the upteenth time. I mean, how many times are we going to see Team Hell No beat the Primetime Players?
Well, at least they're kind enough to give us different variations, hands tied behind the backs and blindfolds and
all that fun, interesting stuff.
But the highlight of that match, in my opinion, was the fact that the main event for next week's Raw was already announced. Team Hell No teaming up with the Phenom, The Undertaker,
versus
the Shield.
I'm very torn by this decision.
Me too.
Very torn.
Me too. And, well, ladies and gentlemen, Ryback showed us tonight that, well, anybody can read from a teleprompter.
Hey, but there's a little more depth.
I don't agree with that. It was a good promo. I think you need to start giving more credit.
Well,
he sold it. His breathing intimidating me. His breathing. Yeah, that's not intimidating, but
Okay,
That
let's
is a
let's
Ryback
move.
breath.
Let's move on from breathing.
Jesus.
Okay.
And then we go to Wade Barrett versus R-Truth. And let me tell you the reason I just think that this match is just horrible. Because the ending just didn't look like it was planned. Wade Barrett looked like he got knocked out. R-Truth looked like he hurt himself. And they just ended the match. And then...
Well, the other thing is he wins, and you'd think, okay, does that mean he's going to be next in line? Later on in the night, they announced that on the main event, Wednesday night, will be a battle royal to determine who will be the #1 contender. You're going to have to figure the two names watching in that match are going to be The Miz and R-Truth, since they both own victories over him. And The Miz did take the title at WrestleMania before losing it the following week.
True.
Good point.
And then I think, Jeremy is excited about this next match because his distant cousin, Cody Rhodes, teamed up with Damian Sandow to fight Khali and I think Santino Marella.
Now that was a goof. that guy was a goofball. He was quite the clown this evening.
What do you think about Cody's mustache?
You know what? I like it. I'm not just saying that because I'm unofficially his relative, but I like the mustache. It stands for a lot of things that is not given in this day and age. Classy Cody Rhodes.
And what about Damian Sandow? He
is right 110% of the time.
You're
You're welcome.
He has like I said, he has a hell of a way with words. I mean, I would love to see you guys get into a word battle.
Oh, I'd love to blow down with him. It'd be fantastic.
And,
We're all going to say that on television. Let's edit that out.
I like the fact that I think Hornswoggle grew a few inches. In my opinion, he looked like he got taller from the last time I saw him. I'm just saying. And I also want to let you all guys know that Hornswoggle is not a midget. He's a dwarf. He clarified that on an interview that he recently did.
Okay. Wow.
I just want to know. I'm serious. I really want to know how many times Team Real Scouts is going to break up and get back together.
Hey, when you have intelligence and legacy, I don't know where I'm going with it, but it's going to be an awesome. I'm a big Team Road Scholar fan.
But then...
Dun, da, 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 da.
We go to...
Go.
I just want to say that last week's crowd was 10 times better than this week's crowd. I mean, they were into it like this, and then it went like, and then it went like that. And
I mean, it was New York. The New York area.
Remember, folks,
Greenville.
breathe in the A's.
And I always feel that I feel like it's good TV. I feel like WWE produces good shows when at the end of the show you're left with more questions than answers. The CM Punk promo, you could see that he was emotional. You could feel the emotion, and you gotta wonder what's next for CM Punk. Will he be gone for an extended period of time? I mean, we heard that he was pretty banged up after the match with Taker, so you have to wonder what's next for CM Punk.
We would like to get your opinions on this. Well, ask this question on our Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube page. Give us your opinion on this. Where do you think CM Punk is going?
But I gotta tell you this though, as much as I loved Monday Night Raw, the highlight of the night to me was the fact that the Divas match was given more than 2 seconds.
It was actually given more than 5 minutes. That's really pushing it.
And so that's why we're taking time out to even recognize the fact. And you got to say Twin Magic is back. But, I would like to see a lot more from the Divas division in the near future. And then we go to the final segment of the night with John Cena and Ryback. And Ryback had a wardrobe slip a little bit, I think. It's a PG show. I wouldn't want to see an old man's nipple on television for him. I just don't understand why they did that.
Another point is, were we supposed to see the Shield backstage for that split 3 seconds?
Well, yeah, I want to know was that planned, because I think that kind of ruined the whole segment. And then I also feel we're left with more questions than answers with that as well, because if Cena and Ryback are supposed to be feuding, where did the Shield fit in with this equation? And
that's going to be the thing to watch.
And how will Cena react to the Shield attacking him? The Shield's already involved in a feud with Team Hell No and The Undertaker, so we have to wonder how will that go with will we be seeing Taker in the future? Mm-hmm. Will we be seeing Taker and Team Hell No versus the Shield at Extreme Rules? Will we be seeing John Cena get retaliation against the Shield? I think that is great. But for all you smart fans out there, I would stay off those spoiler sheets because
Also take into consideration if the Shield is business with Ryback.
Well, that is
will
true.
John Cena end up really betraying Ryback, the guy who supposedly he helped bring up.
Well,
and could we get a John Cena?
I don't think so. I think we're getting. I think we're getting more of a Ryback heel turn now, more so than ever. But I'm interested to see it. But the points for next week's Monday Night Raw, and to me, will Triple H accept the challenge of Brock Lesnar? Will The Undertaker make a triumphant return to Monday Night Raw? He has not had a live televised event that is not on pay-per-view. He has not wrestled on television, live television, since I want to say 2010 when he fought CM Punk.
More into that match. Where does Team Hell No and the Shield specifically fit into that? Does that go into a tag team title reign for the Shield eventually?
Like I said, we're left with more questions than answers.
But before we wrap up, I'd like to say moment of the night. Give it to Sheamus for the electric chair on the Big Show.
Yes, yes.
Very good point in the show. And another question we would like to ask is, where do you all think Mark Henry, Big Show, Sheamus, and Orton are going? Where are they going with that? Leave your responses for that.
And before we close, there was an act of terrorism today in Boston, and we would like to send our thoughts and prayers to all those victims out there. But with that said, I'm Justin Jones.
Jeremy Rhodes.
Blake Esta.
And we are
The Shield.
Believe that.
Sierra Hotel, India, Echo, Lima, Delta, Shield.